I bring you today the power of relationships. How to connect with other human beings. What's your intention for that relationship? That presence with the intention and the self and outer awareness, that escalates much faster your relationship. If you can really be authentic in the relationship that you're creating, if you can really show yourself, really paying attention to your emotion, and you can show that vulnerability. And when you're making yourself vulnerable in between the lines, you are setting the vulnerability standard. You are saying it's okay for you to be vulnerable and authentic with me. Hi guys, welcome to Connecting101.life. I'm Alexandra Duque, an Integrative Clinical Psychologist, and I bring you this platform where you can learn and reflect and escalate your connection with yourself and with other people. So join me on this quest, and if you really want, please hit that button and subscribe. I'll see you soon. How to connect with other human beings. You know that saying, tell me who you're with and I tell you who you are. That's the power of relationships. In a way, we are driven to people that resemble us. Somehow, there's the other saying that says that opposite people attract each other. Well, kinda. We'll be diving into that later on in other videos and resources, but what I'd like to bring you today is some bullet points regarding how to connect with other people. And if you have seen already the self-connection video, you have already there some important information about self-connection that applies to connecting with other people. So if you haven't, check that out and really pay attention. And this is actually the first bullet point regarding how to create an amazing relationship with others. Pay attention. And when I say pay attention, I'm saying pay attention to yourself, your feelings. So be self-aware, your feelings in your body, but also pay very close attention to the other person. Because as we've discussed in the self-connection video, sometimes our emotions are not coming from just that moment. They are coming from our past experience, from our past life, from the experience that hurt us in the past or that were very fulfilling in the past. So we are, in a way, unaware of that connection from the past. And we are projecting our emotions to the present moment. And if that happens with us, of course, that happens with all people, virtually all people that we connect with during our lives. So it can be our spouse, it can be our boyfriend or girlfriend, it can be our friends, it can be our family, our mom or father or siblings or uncles or whatever. But what that really means is that if the person is projecting past emotions or the person is expecting something from us based on their previous experiences, what that really means is that we have no way of understanding where that person is coming from. So I can be experiencing this situation with this person now, and the person feels very hurt because of something that I just said, but I had no intention of hurting the person. Actually, I really do feel that I chose my words very carefully not to hurt the person. But what I kind of can sense is that there's some awkwardness there in that moment coming from the other person. But of course, I'm reacting to that. So if I'm really paying attention to that, what happens is that I can ask the right questions in that moment. I can say, whoa, it seems like I don't know what that emotion is. What are you feeling? What did I say that made you feel that way? Did I hurt you? I'm so sorry. It was not my intention. So if you're really, really, really paying attention in that moment, you can acknowledge that emotion, the emotion you're sensing from the other person, and you can act immediately on that. And that means that when you're paying that level of attention, the person feels seen, feels heard, feels validated immediately, just because you're paying attention. And sometimes you might even realize that not even the person themselves were very aware of what they were feeling. And when you ask the question, well, the person needs to go back to their own emotions, to their own feelings, and kind of connect with themselves to answer your question. So again, if I'm aware of my own emotions, I can mirror. We have this amazing cells in our brains that are called mirror neurons, and we'll deep dive into that in a video later on and connecting 101.live. But for the time being, what mirror neurons are they are responsible for empathy in a nutshell. So they give us the power of feeling and understanding the other person's emotions and mirroring the emotion in ourselves. So they are really responsible for our empathy levels. So if, of course, we train ourselves in this area of emotional intelligence and empathy, we are kickstarting our mirror neurons and helping them to develop and grow even more. So first part of connecting with other people is to pay attention. Second part is awareness of your emotions and the other person's emotions. And then I would like to underline here another important topic, which is intention. And what's your intention for that relationship? What's your intention for your interaction in that moment with that person? And of course, most of us never think about intention, never question themselves, what do you mean? What's my intention? I'm just hanging out. Okay, hanging out could be an intention, but what if your intention is to create a wonderful moment with that person? Don't you think there would be a difference in the way that you're presenting yourself and in the way that the person is feeling you, in the way that you're self-aware and aware of the other person? Eventually, to create an extraordinary moment with that person, it's kind of the same of hanging out just for fun, but the level of setting that intention is much deeper. And because it's much deeper, it means that you're much more present in that interaction. So that presence with the intention and the self and outer awareness, that escalates much faster your relationship, that relationship. And of course, if you listened already to the self-connection video, you're aware that I talked about authenticity. And if authenticity is so important in my relationship with myself, whoa, authenticity in the relationship with others is mind-blowing. If you can really be authentic in the relationship that you're creating, if you can really show yourself, really paying attention to your emotions, even if they're not amazing emotions, and you can show that vulnerability. Because if you're showing yourself, you're making yourself vulnerable. And when you're making yourself vulnerable, in between the lines, you are setting the vulnerability standard. You are saying, it's okay for you to be vulnerable and authentic with me. On the other hand, if you just have kind of a social connection, really, most times we don't want to show ourselves. And that drives to empty relationships. So if we find a way to connect with that person, to really set an intention for that relationship, it can be a professional relationship, work-related, doesn't have to really be personal. But of course, if it's a work connection, it has a different intention. I might want to create an amazing moment with that person, but in a work-related setting. The difference between a personal relationship and a professional relationship lies in the intention that I set for that interaction. That doesn't mean that I need to hide myself. That doesn't mean that I cannot be authentic in the way that I'm showing myself, perceiving the other person, and in a way, creating that moment. So first of all, paying attention, then being aware of yourself and of the other person's emotions, setting an intention for that interaction, and of course, the authenticity and the vulnerability. This will kickstart an amazing interaction, an amazing connection with other people. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, don't forget to live an amazing life. Your amazing life. Guys, thanks again for watching and for allowing me to share with you this reflection and for us to grow together. And don't forget, if you really, really want to, like, share, and click that button there or there and subscribe and be notified of all the updates, all the videos that I'm sharing with you. All the best, and I'll see you soon.